was rummaging through our switches collection and I was able to find the Kailh Midnight Pro Silent Linear, Kailh Midnight Pro Silent Tactile, the Kailh Deep Sea Box Silent V3, the Kailh Box Silent Pink, and the Box Hush Silent V3 switch. Alright, let's start first with the Kailh Box Hush Silent switch. This has an operation force of 50 gram force or centinewton. You might have seen gram force or centinewton every time you search for the operation force of a switch, and they're more or less interchangeable because 1 centinewton is equivalent to 1.02 gram force, or 1 gram force is equivalent to 0.98 centinewton. Its actuation travel is 1.8 and the total travel is 3.6. Let's open it up. Here we have the cover. We have these rubber pads that are inside the cover. With the rubber pad, the shaft hits the bottom of the base and the inner wall of the upper cove to both help reduce noise and make it silent. If you're familiar with the switch, this is what you call a stem. It has the dust-proof cover. So we have the spring, normal spring, and here we have the light pipe. So let's say, for example, you have an RGBW LED keyboard that has backlight. That means that the backlight will shine through this part of the switch and through this light pipe. And inside the base, as you can see it sticking in the base, that's the rubber pad undershaft, and that also helps dampen the sound. So we have the metal sheet and then the plastic base. Huh, sounds fancy. Let's do a sound test. Next, we have the Kailh Deep Sea Silent Pro Box switch. Now, this is the linear version called Linear Eyelet. They also have a tactile version called, wait for it, Tactile Whale. I like it. It has an operation force of 45 gram force. Pre-travel is 1.8 and the return force is 15 gram force. And total travel is 3.6 millimeters. Okay, let's open it up. Here we have the cover or the top housing. First, remove the stem from the housing, all right? Also has these rubber pads on the side of the housing, as you can see here. We have the light pipe here, or the light guide post, as they say, a protecting cover. We also have this slider or the push rod. And inside the base, you can see another dampening, which is what they call the bottom muffler pad. This helps dampen the sound, making each activation of the switch even more silent. And of course, the spring, this very, very, very long spring. What is the purpose of this long spring? They say that this extended spring has a more uniform pressure force and it has faster rebound than the ordinary spring. That's funny though, because it actually says on their datasheet that the return force of this switch is 15 gram force. And if we look at the Hush Silent Box switch, the return force is also 15 gram force. So I don't know what they're kind of referring to, but maybe we should test it out, shall we? Next, we have the Kailh Midnight Silent Pro Linear switches. Operating force is 45 gram force as well. Pre-travel though is 1.9 millimeters. Return force is 15 gram force, but total travel is 4 millimeters. So let's open it up and see what they're on about. We have the top housing. This time, it doesn't have any rubber pads on the side. Let's take the stem out. So this switch also has an extended spring, so it's slightly longer than normal. It doesn't have those pads on the sides of the housing nor muffler pad at the bottom of the base, but it does have pads on the sides of the base. So let's test it out. With these Kailh Midnight silent linear switches, you can actually hear the spring. Alright, next we have the Kailh Midnight Silent Pro Tactile. It's not as silent as you would think it is. So you can actually hear it being released. Anyway, the operating force is the same as the linear switch, which is 45 gram force. Free travel is also 1.9, similar to the linear. Return force is 15 gram force. Tactile force, however, is 55 gram force. So you do feel that bump when you actuate it and when you release it. The total travel is 3.7 millimeters. And sound level? Silent. Let's take it apart. The top housing. Let's remove the stem. Ah, interesting. The spring isn't as long as the Kailh Midnight Silent Pro Linear switches. Huh. So it doesn't have any sound dampening solutions or rubber pads in the base, but it does have one in the top side of the top housing. With these Midnight Silent Pro Tactile switches, it feels like the stem hits the top housing of the switch when it goes back up. And next we have the Kailh Box Silent Pink. This is actually one of the most common silent switches out there. And for good reason. It has an actuation force of 35 gram force, so it's quite light. Actuation travel is 1.8 and the total travel is 3.6, so it's relatively shorter when you press the key and also lighter. So compared to all these switches, the Kailh Box Silent Pink has the least operating or actuation force of 35 gram force. So let's open it up. We have the top housing here. Are there any sound dampening materials in the top housing? No. Let's start by removing the stem. So in the stem, you can see these white rubber materials, and that helps with dampening the sound the switches make. Moving down the switch, we have the spring, which has the normal size or length. And where is the metal leaf, you might ask? So it's actually underneath this plastic bit. Oh, there you go. And this, my friends, is the Kailh Silent Pink. So based on the side-by-side comparison of these 5 switches, I've narrowed it down to 3. We have the Box Hush, the Deep C, and the Silent Pinks. So we've tested these 5 silent switches from Kailh. It's Kailh because the name of the company is actually Kailh. Kailh is the name of the brand and Kailh is the name of the company. But anyway, so from our tests, we have ranked the most silent switch. On the top 3, the least silent switch, or our second runner-up, is the silent drumroll, the Deep C silent switch. Congratulations. The first runner-up or second place goes to the Hush Box switch. And our winner, our champion, the most silent switch ever in our studio is the Kailh Silent B. Let's hear what she has to say.
I just want to say thank you to everyone. This is definitely one for the switches. Thank you.
Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we publish videos on different switches, keycaps, and ergonomic keyboards. So,